Now, if we speak about the new approach and the need for a new approach, first of all, why a new approach was needed? Actually speaking, we wanted definite results. And second thing, why were we failing? Many a times was lot of information that we were taking was very subjective. And once information taken from a patient is subjective, it is more possible that you may go wrong in your interpretations about the patient. So I started dwelling into this to understand, is it possible that if we make your case paper 80% so much objective that whatever you take about your patient is not open to interpretation? So how can we do that? So for that we started studying the physiology of the thyroid gland, then the investigations and their interpretations, the symptoms produced thereafter, and what are the conditions influencing the thyroid gland. When we studied the physiology, the pathology, we found that there are so many conditions that actually influence thyroid disorders per se. Like for example, during menopause, there are a set of patients who fall ill during menopause with thyroid. Now why it is that patients they fall into thyroid problems after menopause? Obviously there is a physiological change at that time, and the physiological change is so stronger that it overlaps your constitution. So generally when you are seeing an endocrine case, you are seeing a constitution and an overlapping constitution which is produced by another constitution that may be the underlying pathology or the underlying endocrine condition. So when there is a masking effect, you are not seeing the symptoms of the patient and symptoms of the condition as different. Now this is one of the situations. There are many such situations which are described in our books. Then what we did is we tried to study the materia medica. Now the materia medica, especially of those materia medicas which have clinical evidence of patients being treated in thyroid situations. For example, Allen, Phatak, Boric, N.M. Chaudhary, Clark, Farrington, Kent, all these teachers have given lot of examples of remedies which were used in treating thyroid conditions, and to my surprise they were lesser known remedies. My meaning about lesser known remedies are those remedies which have very less literature available about it. So these remedies did not find a way into the repertory. Since you did not have a way into the repertory, we were obviously not able to get them during our repertorization sheet, and most of the prescriptions for these rare remedies either became empirical or they became out of an experience of an homeopath. So for any patient who was being treated of thyroid was by a person who was an experienced person who had read his materia medica thoroughly, or for that who had gone through these rare remedies before. But there was no definite pathway existing at that time. Then the correlation of your sonography and the hormonal findings in your reports. We were prescribing without understanding the correlation of these reports. Secondly, when these conditions get affected with PCOS, that is polycystic ovarian disease, and you see the testosterone levels high and the patient is having the hormones apart from thyroid, like the estrogen, progesterone and testosterone affecting the patient. Now these creating another condition which overlaps the thyroid condition. How to treat those? So these and lot of questions like these were bogging my mind at that time, and I was actually looking for something which will give definite results in the practice. So where to begin from? This was a question. So we started studying the physiology of the remedies, especially the lesser known remedies, how they acted, and then started correlating with the physiology of the disease. And then we could formulate a kind of case paper. This case paper is as good as a thyroid specific case paper, which will show a way towards all these remedies that we used to miss during our case taking. So generally when I begin with a normal case taking, the way we conventionally do, where we come to a constitutional individual remedy or the anti-miasmatic remedy if required, depending on the past history. But after that is over, many a times what I found is there are some specific conditions which are a part of the thyroid history but are not mentioned in the case paper which we are taking as a conventional case paper. For example, thyroid problem starting at puberty, and we have remedies like calcare iode, or thyroid problems with a particular goiter which is hard, and you have 2-3 remedies where the goiter is hard, and we do not bother to see the consistency of the goiter. Or thyroid problems with a past history of a specific disease, and we do not take that disease into consideration, and the remedies have been mentioned for this in specific literatures in homeopathy. Now, with the newer case paper, we find that the road to these smaller remedies is easy. So it is a kind of case paper of certain questions, maybe a set of 25-40 questions, where you start from the cause. Generally what we are doing is we take the cause as a general cause, but there are many causes which are specific to thyroid, like thyroid at birth, thyroid at pregnancy, thyroid during menopause, thyroid during with a premature old age. All these will have specific remedies for the conditions starting in this particular phase of life. Now this becomes an entry to the case and not the prescription to the patient. Once you know that this is a remedy which is very rarely mentioned, or a smaller remedy, your attention is diverted to that, and as you go ahead in the case paper, where you try and evaluate if there was a medicinal cause, if there was a hormonal cause, or if there was any emotional disappointment during that time, or was it due to hysterectomy or post-hysterectomy, or for that matter, when you examine the patient and you see the swelling of the gland, a type of swelling of the gland, all these type of questions are mentioned one by one. So what you exactly have to do is to see everything according to the questions mentioned in that questionnaire, and in that questionnaire you go on ticking what is positive about it. The options are given, and those options which are given are the only things present in the Materia Medica of today's literature which have been verified clinically. So if you are putting the patient through this case paper, you are actually including all those 50-60 remedies which did not have a mention in our repertory, and you will have a window to understand those patients with respect to these rare remedies. Now after you put the patient through this case paper, what exactly happens is you get a set of symptoms which are covered by a set of remedies. Now these set of symptoms which are covered by this set of remedies are now put to a repertory which is specially prepared by me for evaluating thyroid conditions. Now friends, this repertory is the repertory of all those remedies which are not mentioned in the regular repertory. So this is like a special thyroid repertory. Now this special thyroid repertory is to be used only after your conventional case taking is over. And this questionnaire, which is an addition to the original questionnaire which you always do during a conventional case taking, this has to be subjected to the repertory. And once you put all the positive answers of the questionnaire to the repertory, you will get 1 or 2 remedies which have the sphere of action on the thyroid disorder which you are treating, with proper indications which you were not even aware of. And these remedies will be one of the remedies which will affect the patient directly. Now once you find this remedy, we have a Materia Medica. Now this Materia Medica which I am going to show you, or it's a part of my book which I have written in thyroid, is a thyroid specific Materia Medica. Means all that is available about this remedy, which is objective, not open to discussion and interpretation, is written in that remedy for thyroid. So once you find this remedy, you just go and read through the thyroid Materia Medica which is a part of the book, or which I may be discussing at the end of this lecture series, just mark those points with your patient and ask them specific questions, so you can obviously see that in your patient. Once you see that, then obviously this is one of the remedies which will help your patient like anything. Means your process to cure hastens. Now after using this classified method of putting the remedies and putting the patient into a system, it has been very easy to have a pathway towards a simulacrum much faster. And this whole series is about understanding the case paper, how this case paper was made, and what are the specific questions which are related to the patient in the case paper, and how to ask the patient these questions and what are the answers that you are going to expect, because there is nothing which I am writing is written by me. It is a part of the whole homeopathic literature available in thyroid compiled together for coming to this near simulacrum, which was earlier maybe a year or 2 years away in your practice when you were doing a conventional method. Now this case paper, once it is put to a repertory, and this repertory is a repertory of rare remedies which is compiled by me and put into order. Once you put this to the repertory, it gets you series of remedies, especially which is covering the totality of these rare remedies, and this is brought to you as a smaller remedy which has thyroid specific action, which can be again compared with the thyroid specific materia medica. And this remedy, when used in your practice along with a constitutional remedy, when it stops taking your patient ahead or with a specific indication, your results jump from below average to more than higher specificity and a good result altogether. So this is a method in short, and I have discussed this in my lectures ahead by explaining each and every question and each and every part of the remedy as elaborative with lots of cases, so that you can understand the use of this method and succeed in your practice in thyroid and related disorders. Just to tell you one example how this case helped me, or how this case taking method helped me in my practice, can be demonstrated by one of the case which I did just a few years ago. There was a Buddhist monk lady who used to come to me for a thyroid and other related problems. When she came to me for the first time, her problems were recurrent upper respiratory tract infections, obesity, and hair fall, many other problems, dryness of skin. And I am talking about this case maybe 7-8 years before I used this new method. And at that time, she gave me a lot of history of abuse and grief, where she lost 2 children because of violence in the family. Then she had lost her parents, and all that came to a very strong picture of Ignatia. I prescribed Ignatia to her. When she came to me at that time, she was maybe 37, 36 years of age. After giving Ignatia, her TSH, which was maybe 8 or 10, returned back to normal. She stayed on Ignatia for some time, and then we stopped the treatment. She goes back home, it is 7-8 years down the line, and we did not have much of follow-up of her. After 8 years, she comes back to me with a TSH raised to 53. So alarming. And since she was out of touch with us, we started to take her case back again. And this was a time when I was using the newer approach. If you take the case back again, the situation was still the same Ignatia grief and the same Ignatia situation. So generally what we do is take the patient with the conventional mode of case taking and try and evaluate through this case paper as to what was the exact reason for the patient to suffer from this problem. So when I was going through her case paper, I found that there is stages in which we suffer. For example, the way I mentioned earlier is during the patient's birth, pregnancy, menopause, or after hysterectomy. And now when she has come to me, she was actually at the time of her menopause. And it was at that situation that her TSH sprang up to 53 with severe weight gain, severe dryness of skin, breathlessness, and all thyroid, hypothyroid related pictures springing up from nowhere. As I took the case, I was still tempted to give Ignatia because it was a remedy which covered whole and whole. But there was one thing which I knew after scanning this patient was it did not cover that part and the phase of life in which this problem started, that is during menopause. So after giving Ignatia, the patient was better. Better in the sense the emotional picture was better, the relationships were better, but her weight loss did not occur. Her thyroid related symptoms still remained the same. One more factor that I found in her case paper was she had a past history of tuberculosis. And if you go through her old books, you will find that if there is a past history of tuberculosis and then the patient develops thyroid related problems, we have specific remedies to actually reduce the effect of tuberculosis on thyroid. And the phase of life in which she has developed had a specific remedy. So when I put the patient to the case paper, I found that one of the remedies that pointed towards her present scenario was the remedy ferrum iodatum. And what is ferrum iodatum? Is a thyroid condition beginning at a suppression of menses. Now, menopause to an extent is like a suppression of menses, or hysterectomy is also like a suppression of menses. So at this point I decided to give her ferrum iodatum in a very low potency, maybe 6x or 3x. After giving the patient this remedy, ferrum iodatum 6x for around 2 weeks intermittently for 2 months, to my surprise, on the 3rd month the TSH, whose normal range should be not more than around 4 to 4.5, came back to around maybe 3.07 within just 3 months, which was never possible earlier. And by looking at the case, I again thought the same thing. If I had been doing my conventional method, I would have been still prescribing Ignatia and waiting for the Ignatia to act because it had acted previously. But this time it did not act because the phase of life dominated the situation. And now when the phase of life dominates the constitution, you need another remedy. And that another remedy was ferrum iodatum. Had I not known this specific approach, I wouldn't have looked at ferrum iodatum as a remedy, because it would have been known to me only if I had my materia medica so well advanced within me that the smallest possible symptoms of these rare remedies would have been a part of my knowledge. And it is not always humanly possible to remember all these small indications. But after giving ferrum iodatum, the whole thing reversed back to normal. Now this is something that is a big learning for me at that time, and now it has become like a regular practice to use these remedies. But the way of prescribing is also very peculiar. You don't have to give 2 remedies together, you have to give only the thyroid specific remedy after your constitutional remedy has stopped working. And this and the way to prescribe and what potency to be used, all this thing is discussed in the lectures ahead. And I hope that you look at this from a different angle and help your patients who are not getting those results with our conventional mode in our practices.